Hello guys. You get to see me really close up here because I was just too lazy to go get my stand and my table and all that stuff, so I'm just out here. Um, yeah, and the birds are singing, which is fabulous always. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about our second cognitive function, which is extroverted feeling. And I don't know a lot about cognitive functions, maybe just enough to be dangerous, just have enough understanding of them to identify what they are. But from what I understand, and I'm sure someone will correct me if I word this wrong, extroverted feeling is the ability to pick up and absorb other people's emotions. And as a younger person, I didn't understand what this was. I just thought that I was a mess. I couldn't figure out why I would, you know, feel a certain way when I was out and about or whatever. So what I learned to do then is kind of put up a fortress against other people's feelings, like a sort of armor or a sort of like, yeah, armor when I would go out. And it was almost like I would prepare myself. I don't even know how. It's so hard to explain how I would do it, but I would almost prepare myself to go out in public so that I wouldn't be absorbing all of those things because it was so uncomfortable for me and it was so confusing and I would just have so many feelings, and now I know they weren't mine, they're other people's. But so, in my 30s, and as you know, I'm 40 now. In my 30s, I learned how to put up this armor, this fortress, so that I would not feel other people's feelings unless it was a very charged emotion, like a very obvious, if someone was throwing a tantrum or being very angry or crying or being very sad, I was kind of able to just block that out and have this armor up. So I kind of decided, because, that really didn't serve me or the people around me very well, to live in this fortress. I kind of decided to go out and about now, in situations that I know are safe. I decided to go out in with my armor half up, if that's something that you can understand. Maybe you do. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I talk about things that are going on, I'm like, no one is going to understand what I'm talking about, but perhaps you do. So I was going to just give you an example of this, and I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. And I hope she doesn't mind that I'm not going to say her name or who's involved or whatever. But the girl I work with, my business partner, so to speak, she has had a few new relationships recently. Well, I say recently, but maybe in the past year. And the first one that she had, the first new relationship that she had, I did not like, immediately did not like this man. And of course, he presented to the world a very pleasant, generous, fakery, I guess. But I didn't like him. He made me uneasy. I knew there was something about him that shouldn't be trusted. But I kept those things to myself until after she decided to break off the relationship, and then I told her all the things that I had sensed. Well, fast forward to now, she is in a new relationship, and I decided when this new man came into the salon to help her fix something that I would then drop my armor and, I guess, feel him out, and then ask her if it was okay if I told her what I was sensing or feeling from him. And she was very disappointed that I had not told her about this first relationship that she was having until it was too late. And I just always feel like, in the past, I have warned people about other people, about relationships, about patterns I see. And it often goes ignored. So then when that happens, you kind of just, give up, I guess, and don't want to share those things because you end up looking like a weirdo, or you end up looking like a negative person, or like you're mean and not accepting and blah, blah, blah. So I just kept it to myself the first time around. But then she had said, please tell me if you see something or sense something in someone, because I would like to know. And I believe she is an INTP like my son, and I don't know if they can really pick up that kind of stuff. I don't really know a lot about other personalities and their cognitive function. So, anyway, getting to the point. So, this man comes in, her new boyfriend, I guess you would call him. Oh, the son is doing weird things. That's okay. Um, so, her new boyfriend comes in, and I decide I'm going to drop my guard and feel him out. I'm not going to, of course, let him know I'm doing that, but I'm just going to watch him and just sense. And the very first thing that I sensed was, that he has a lot of like stored up anger in him. And feeling anger from other people always makes me a little bit sick to my stomach for some reason. Like I really get almost nauseous, like I could go in the bathroom and throw up. And I almost can see that anger on a person. His face didn't look angry, but it's almost like there's a floating mask over his face, like it's superimposed on his face, and you can see that anger like a shadow over his face. And then I could feel it as well. And then when I just continued to, immediately when I feel that anger, I'm sick to my stomach, and then I want to just shut down that, put my guard back up so I don't feel that, because anger is very uncomfortable for me to feel. But I'm like, no, Joy, this is safe. You can do this. This is what you were made to do. And then as I continue to feel, then I can feel that this man, he has felt like no one has ever loved him in his entire life. And, he's probably 40 or close to 40. And he has this very sad young boy inside of him that has never felt loved. And so then I did share those things with her, and I, tried to explain to her that no matter how much she loves him, she cannot fix that part of him. He has to want to work on that. But anyway, so that is kind of my living example of extroverted feeling on overdrive, I guess you could say. And allowing myself to dive into that part of me. I used to operate in that quite often when I was, in a healthy church congregation and I needed to pray for people. I used to operate in that quite a bit. And I stopped doing it because I got hurt too many times, I guess, and I was probably way too sensitive. But I really, after that episode and then speaking with her and then, releasing myself from having any responsibility for trying to fix or help this man in the state that he's in, after I kind of released myself from that, like I cannot save all of the sad little boys, I really felt encouraged and felt as if like, oh my goodness, that is what I am meant to be doing. So anyway, there's my story for today. And yeah, so let me know what you think. Am I way off base here? Is this extroverted feeling, or is it something else? Is it my old pastor used to call it discernment and wisdom and things like that. But anyway, live in love of the way you were created. Have a beautiful day.